Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. More Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury build-up coverage in this video, so we're going to get through a few things. The first of which is a bold claim that Tyson Fury is making about Deontay Wilder, saying the WBC champion is the most fearsome puncher of all time. A very bold claim indeed. Obviously, Deontay Wilder has been saying similar things, waxing lyrical about his own abilities in the past. But now Tyson Fury, just a week out from his fight with the WBC champion, is echoing that same sentiment. And it's a little ironic because Tyson Fury has spent some time during this build-up trying to discredit Wilder's competition that he's fought in his career, saying that the WBC champion has fought 39 tomato cans, and the one guy that he does have on his record of note was close to 50 and had a heart condition, and that is, of course, Luis Ortiz. Obviously, those we don't know if Ortiz is close to 50. There is a lot of speculation on that. So in this video, I'm going to get to these statements that Fury has made, a few thoughts on it, and then on to some other news with the build-up. So more tickets have been released for the fight on December 1st at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. So apparently that is due to demand. So that is good news if more tickets are being released, if more are being bought, and it is going to be hopefully close to a full house by fight night. And then on to some other news towards the back end of the video, some things that Frank Warren, Tyson Fury's promoter, has been saying about his fighter. So a lot to get through, so we better crack into it. Buckle in. Let's go. So Tyson Fury speaking to the Daily Star, and you can see the headline here. Tyson Fury claims Deontay Wilder is most fearsome puncher of all time. The byline here, Tyson Fury believes Deontay Wilder is the deadliest puncher in boxing history. So we'll just scroll down here just to his quote. So, make no mistake, Deontay Wilder is a bad man, and he believes it. One mistake in that ring, and it's over. We all know this. It's heavyweight boxing. But you're not messing with a normal heavyweight. You're messing with a man who's knocked everybody out that he's fought. Even the one that went the distance with him. He rematched him and knocked him out inside a round. I think he's the most fearsome puncher of all time. Deontay Wilder. So when you're messing with someone like that, who can take you out in round 1 or round 12, you've got to box clever. Muhammad Ali beat George Foreman, and George Foreman could hit 2 times harder than Ali. But Muhammad Ali outfought him, and I believe myself to be a thinking man, not just a brawn. If we scroll down further, the story also has a little bit more here. You may have heard these quotes elsewhere. When guys say, I only have power, I've been hearing it throughout my career. So it grows on deaf ears until they get in the fight, and that's what knocks them out. I love when a fighter just thinks I'm all about the right hand because they don't see the other things that's coming. So I let them keep talking about the right hand, the right hand, the right hand, just letting me know what their training mentality is. They're not preparing for the best of Deontay Wilder and what he possesses. Deontay Wilder's statements. Okay, so in terms of these claims, Tyson Fury says he's the most fearsome puncher of all time. Well, it's very hard to sort of stack these guys up against each other through history because we don't know. We do know Deontay Wilder is one of the biggest, if not the biggest puncher, concussive puncher right now in terms of heavyweights that are running around in the division. His record does speak volumes. And I know there are a number of people who like to sort of say, well, his opposition was such that, you know, no wonder he was getting the knockouts. But still, he's been able to get the job done. It's not by luck. The right hand does land. It hurts. It knocks people out. And it may not always be a one-punch power thing. It can be, you know, obviously the wild swinging. As soon as he gets someone hurt, he's in there, he senses that he's about to take them out, and he goes for it. And often that's where the wild swinging Wilder sort of memes come from. But in terms of today's heavyweights, I think we can definitely say he is among, or potentially at the top of the guys that hit the hardest. You know, one punch. He's a very tall man, long levers. He generates a lot of force. But in terms of all time, Well, I mean, that's just so hard to actually say, because obviously we're not comparing like for like, and it's easier to compare the guys that are his contemporaries as opposed to, does he hit harder than Mike Tyson? Does he hit harder than Ernie Shavers? Does he hit harder than George Foreman? You know, there's a number of other guys. Someone like a Burt Cooper, even though he was a journeyman type or high-level journeyman, he did fight for a title against Holyfield. He could really punch. He was a noted puncher. And some of these guys in the division, you know, across the years, they haven't always gone to the top, but some of them can be massive punchers, but they just don't have the other skills to get the job done. So I think in terms of Deontay Wilder's skills, obviously he potentially is a bit underrated on that front, because even if he is just a right hand, he had to have something about him to make sure he landed that right hand, or potentially was able to set that right hand up over the course of a fight. You know, he's got to have the athleticism, timing, reflexes, all the, you know, other bits and pieces. So I don't buy it that Deontay Wilder is just a right hand. But certainly that is a big part of his wheelhouse. But in terms of Tyson Fury, why is he saying this? Well, we're a week out from fight night. It's pretty obvious. He wants to build some interest here. And by saying all this as well, he's going to, you know, he's trying to big it up in terms of, if he beats Wilder, the guy who he's calling the most fearsome puncher of all time, takes him 12, gets a decision. Well, clearly he's going to be crowing about that. Clearly he will say, look, I fought the hardest puncher of my generation, the hardest puncher of any generation, and I survived. I used my brain. I didn't need to use all of my brawn. I didn't have to knock him out. I could outthink him. I could outsmart him in the ring with my ring craft and beat him. So I think, you know, some of that, it's, you know, it's a sales pitch for the fight, but also, you know, Tyson Fury, he's certainly going to want all the credit in the world for beating Deontay Wilder. And I think given where he's come from, a lot of people will be willing to give him a lot of credit, because there is, you know, I've seen across my videos and others, comment sections and whatnot, there's a number of people that still think that Deontay Wilder is cherry-picking Tyson Fury here, that it's too soon and that Tyson Fury has no show. I mean, there is a lot of people going a lot further, saying that the fight isn't going to happen. Someone's going to pull out. So, you know, I think with this, if Tyson Fury gets through, he doesn't need to say that Deontay Wilder is the best ever at whatever, because he's going to get enough credit just from coming where he's coming from and dethroning a guy that's got 7 defenses of the WBC title. That in itself is quite the achievement. But in terms of the next thing, ticket sales. So, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, more tickets released at Staples. So the story goes, this is on boxingscene.com, so it's clearly come from a press release though. Overwhelming demand has led to more tickets being released for sale to the public at Staples Center for the highly anticipated heavyweight World Championship clash. Further down, the newly released tickets are priced at $125 and $75 and are on sale now. Pay-per-view cost $64.99 for standard definition, which we already knew. So I guess the in HD, what, $10 more, something like that. But in terms of what's happening here, I was actually on the website a day, because I've been checking in just to sort of see how tickets are shifting, because it's been something that's been a talking point with this fight. Obviously, a lot of media hype with this fight being made. Obviously, the press tour, both guys were talking it up. It's going to be a sellout. It's going to be the biggest fight in boxing. You know, there's not going to be a seat left in the stadium, all that sort of thing. And tickets haven't quite shifted as fast as they probably would have liked. But a ticket spike in the sort of 24 hours after tickets went on sale certainly didn't help. And once the prices went up, the ticket sales started to dry up. But, so if we have a look at the map now, so these areas here, section 317, 318, 319, these are some of the areas that are starting to come on sale, around the upper bowl and that sort of stuff. But also, StubHub have got tickets on sale, so we'll come to that in a second. They've got different tickets on sale. So if we look at this, the blue, as you can see, this is where tickets are still available. This is the main ticket map, the Staples Center one. If we drill in, there's clearly still a number of seats all over the place. Thousands of seats that are still, you know, available for sale. So these are some of the ticket blocks that have come out. So these are $129 tickets, I believe, yes. And some of these ones around the side, these are the $77 tickets. Yes, they are. But, you know, I think in terms of what we have seen, there are actually more seats that have been selling. So some of these blocks were a little bit fuller in the last week or two. They're starting to sell. I mean, I think that was a near full block that's starting to go a little bit. Some of these other ones had more seats. You can start to see there were, you know, a lot more tickets available for sale previously, starting to thin out. And the fact that they have released more tickets, you got to take that as a good sign. There is clearly some interest for this fight. It's, you know, not doom and gloom as some people are making out to be. What the overall number of tickets that have sold, you know, who knows? Because clearly you can still see thousands of tickets within this map when you zero in. And then when you go to the StubHub site, they have other tickets, and they've got some tickets in the same sections too. I did actually note for some of these, so that's a $77 ticket in this block. In the normal map, it's $151 on StubHub. And these ones here, $200, it's $129 seat. So, you know, if people are looking for the bargains, the value, they, you know, should go to the normal ticketing map. But StubHub, they certainly have a number of tickets that they are reselling on behalf of the venue. They've obviously bought them up. I mean, I think there's a block here. Yes, 80 tickets, $259. And some of these ones around here, you can't actually get seats on the normal ticket map. So clearly they've been allocated tickets. They've snapped them up. And it does look like, you know, when you're looking at the map in terms of you drill in, that there are fewer tickets than there, you know, on sale than there were previously. Some of it is really starting to thin out in different places. And I think, you know, that trend will continue to fight night. Clearly they'll want some of these seats close to ringside to sell, because it's always a terrible look if you have lots of seats available. So who knows, you may actually see some of these prices come down, some of these ringside ones. What's this one here? $1,500. I mean, that's a big chunk of change, especially to sit at the back of this one on the floor. What's this here? This is $517. Actually, that's pretty good value. That's reasonably close to the ring. That's probably not bad seats. Okay, so ticket sales, it looks like it's picking up, and it's expected the final couple of days is really when the rubber's going to hit the road. So is it going to be a sellout? Who knows? But, you know, it certainly seems like tickets are going in the right direction. Is it over 10,000? Is it over 12,000? I mean, we just don't know. But the fact no one is really saying anything, because if it was going gangbusters, they'd be saying, yeah, it's getting close to a sellout. And we haven't heard that yet, but we may hear that closer to fight night. Have to wait and see on that. Okay, so Frank Warren in his column, he said a couple of things that I just wanted to touch on. All the reports and footage that has made its way back from across the pond show what a great place Tyson is in, both physically and mentally. After all he has been through, he is already the big winner in this one. Tyson knows his stuff and knows exactly what he is getting into. The fact that he is so confident of doing the job and clinching the only belt to have eluded him so far gives me the confidence that we made the right move in making the fight for him much sooner than we originally forecast. I mean, you could certainly take that the other way, that Frank Warren wasn't really convinced about this. And I think there's been a little bit of that come through in some of his previous comments. And he's been very clear Tyson Fury was the one that, you know, said, no, we need this fight. Let's make it. But at least he's saying he's seeing the right things. He's hearing the right things. Whether that can lead to the right result, I mean, time's only going to tell on that. But the big fella believes in himself and is certain he's got the beating of the heavy-hitting but technically deficient Wilder. Frank Warren certainly not holding back there. And actually, in the documentary that has just been released, the BT Boxing No Filter, Jay Diaz, Wilder's trainer, actually addresses the technical side of things and says Wilder isn't nearly as bad as people make him out to be. It's more when, you know, he sniffs blood that he goes in for the kill, that's when he can get a bit loose and a bit wild. The memes, you know, you've seen it all before. Tyson Fury in perfect nick ahead of Deontay Wilder showdown. This is Frank Warren's column in the Daily Star. I've never seen Tyson Fury look more determined than he is right now as he prepares to meet Deontay Wilder. The self-styled Gypsy King is aiming to relieve Wilder of his WBC World Heavyweight belt. And believe me, Tyson looks in perfect nick, both physically and mentally, as he bids to get back to the top of the world. He admits he has been in a dark place in the past. From what I have seen of him lately, those days have well and truly gone. Since deciding to get back in the ring after a 3-year absence, I can testify that he has been in a very happy place. What else did he say? He'll need to be at his best against the big punching American who has won all 40 of his fights, knocking out 39 of his victims. From what I have seen of Tyson, he is really up for it. And he's going to need to be, because clearly Deontay Wilder, big hitting, apparently the most fearsome puncher of all time according to Fury. He's in his prime. He's ready for Tyson Fury. Some people say he's cherry-picking Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury can certainly upset the apple cart here. If he is in proper shape, if his reflexes, if his skill, if his level of movement, if he's halfway near as good as he was against Vladimir Klitschko, he probably needs to be more than that, but if he's anywhere near the shape, the condition, if it's still there, he can beat Deontay Wilder. Personally, I'm not expecting that, but, I'm happy to be proved wrong on that. What do you make of it all? What did you make of Tyson Fury's claim that Deontay Wilder is the most fearsome puncher of all time? I mean, Deontay Wilder will lap that up. He will love that. What do you make of Frank Warren's statements? And more tickets are released. Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.